Welcome to my channel. Today we'll talk about the sum ifs, and count if statements or function. Normally, the if function is used for logical statements where there are conditions to be met. But now we want to talk about the sum if. Sum if we have this and sum if we have that. In this case, you're going to look at the fruits produced in different weeks in a company, like in a farm. So we want to sum each fruit. Let's use the sum if formula, the sum if function. Equals, I will show you how this works. We have different methods to arrive at the answer. Equals sum if your tab. Then the range, the column where the fruits appear is called the range or the array. So we select this one because we are considering the fruits. Our criteria will be this. Let's use this empty space as our criteria. This is one method, comma, sum range, the amount produced of each. Close your parenthesis, click enter. You get a 0 because this space was empty. Then now we can select any fruit we want. Let's say oranges. If you look at the total of all the oranges here, to be giving you this. Let's change to papaya. Papayas 1685 here. That is the only papaya we have. We change it to grape. Grapes. Enter. 10,657. If you add this grape, this, and this, you will surely get this amount. So apart from selecting empty spaces, let's delete. Let me show you another form. You can as well write any fruit you want. Let's say lime or orange. Let's choose it, lime. Then you come here, equals sum if your tab, your range. Your range, select from the range of fruits, control shift down, comma. Your criteria, this one. This one will give you the total for lime because you chose lime as your criteria. Then going further, you can change, comma, sum range, control shift down, close your parenthesis, enter. You will get your line as 250, 2850. Then from here you can still change grapes, lemon. So it's either you choose an empty space or you put a fruit and then you can put an empty space and then fill up with fruits, or you choose any fruit and change to other fruits. Any which way you get the answer. So another example. So let me show you another method of how to do this sum if without selecting a cell for the criteria. It was sum if your tab, then your range because you're looking for the total sum of the salary of accountants. So these are range. You select from this position. Control shift down. comma. Our criteria now, we are not selecting any box or anything. We just want the accountant. You open parenthesis, accountant. This is another way to do this. Comma. Yeah, control shift, down arrow, close your brackets, enter. This is the total sum for accountants. So you can still change and check for other things like receptionist, double click. If you change this accountant now, change this accountant now to receptionist, receptionist, and click enter. This is the only receptionist we have. So this is another form. Instead of going to click a cell to as the criteria, this is another form. You just put your criteria in a parenthesis to select it. That is another one. What if we want to check the sum of the salary for with the gender? We can check the sum of the salary of those are male or those are female, or the salary of those that are above 50 years. Those are the criteria we can use. Like if I want to check for male, I can say equals sum if your tab, your range. You select from this gender column. That will be your range. Control shift down, comma, criteria. I want to know the sum of the male employees. Male. Your, your quotation. Male. Some range. We are looking at the salary. Okay. Press Ctrl Shift down arrow. Close your parenthesis. Enter. So for everybody that is a male, the total salary is this. You can still give it a narration. Okay. You understand? And give it a narration. So you double click or enter, sorry. If you click it, you go here and change it to female to make it easier for you. Enter. Total salary of female is this. What if we want to consider the total salary of those that are above the age of 50? Some ifs from the name, it's plural, so we're considering two criteria. Maybe you're giving two criteria to consider. It's just like the sum if, but in this case, it is two criteria together. This shows the production of fruit in different countries. It's just an example. Equals sum ifs, your tab, sum range, that is the numerical aspect of it. We're considering the quantity produced, the sum range, control shift down, comma, criteria range. We're looking for watermelons in Nigeria. Our criteria one is the watermelon, and the criteria range it will fall under the fruit column. Control shift down, That is the criteria range 1. Then the criteria 1, this is where I placed it here. Watermelons, comma. Criteria range 2, we're looking for Nigeria. So Nigeria falls under the country column. Country shift down, comma. Criteria 2 is here. So we'll close our brackets. Click enter. So watermelons in Nigeria is 5,200. If you add this one, the 2 8 plus the 2 4, you get 5 2. What if I want to know the total number of grapes in Italy? Can change it. Grapes, Italy. What if I want to know the total number of lemons in China? Lemon, no S. China. What if I want to see the total number of pineapples in Nigeria? Pineapples, Nigeria. Oh my god, Nigeria. 50 50. Pineapples in Nigeria. Okay, just one row, 50 50. So these are some ifs work. It uses two criteria to work together. It is just like the plural of some if. It uses two criteria. So let's go to the count if. Equals count if tab. So I want to know the number of male in this class or in this office. The range. Use the gender range, the gender column, because that is what you're considering. Control shift down. Criteria male, comma, criteria, open quotation, male. Close quotation. This is just a simple and straightforward formula. In this case, you can still write male here and click it as a criteria. That one also works. Like my first sum if, that's how you can do your count if too. Or you put it in a quotation mark. Enter. We have 8 male in this data. We have 8 people that are male in this office. The same applies to female. If I change this to female, 7. A total of 15. 8 are male, 7 are female. Want to know how many people with ages above 40? Equals count if tab. So because you're considering the age, you choose this as your range. Control shift down arrow, comma, criteria, you put it in a quotation. Above 40. Close your quotation, close your parentheses, enter. Sorry, enter. 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is just it. That is just how it's done. If you click it, you can see the formula up here, above 40 years. So here we're looking at count ifs. Just like the sum ifs, these count ifs with two criteria. So this comprises of the quantity sold and the years the employees have been in the company. So we want to count how many people that sold above 50 and have worked in the company for 5 years and above. This is the criteria. 5 years and above, and sold quantity more than 50. Want to know how many people fell into this criteria. Maybe there will be a salary increase. So the company is trying to know how many people that fell into this category to put into consideration in their decision making. Equals count ifs. Criteria range number one. So quantity sold above 50. So we'll go under quantity sold. That is the criteria range number one. Control shift down, comma. The second one is now the criteria above 50. Assuming I didn't put this, I'll just put it in quotation mark. That will still work. So criteria one, this, comma. Criteria range two, years employed. Here, this control shift down, comma. Criteria two, this. So bracket close, but just two criteria. You can go on and on, three criteria, four criteria, but we're just considering two criteria. Bracket close, enter. So if you didn't build up this criteria like this, you can still put it in quotation mark. Let me show you. Equals count if. This is what I was saying about the sum if and sum ifs. If you didn't put it up in a criteria in a cell, you can still put it in a quotation mark. So count ifs, your tab, criteria range one, this, comma, criteria one, you put it in quotation. So you can go anyway, you can go around it anyway. You can build up a criteria box like this or use the quotation. You will still arrive at the same answer. Use the quotation like this or use the criteria like this, because you will still arrive at the same answer. Thank you. Please subscribe, like, and click the notification button for more videos.